Anthony John Spilotro, May 19, 1938, June 14, 1986, nicknamed Tony the Ant, was an American mobster for the Chicago outfit in Las Vegas during the 1970s and 80s. Spilotro managed the outfit's illegal casino profits, the skim, when some of the casinos were run by Frank Rosenthal, replacing outfit member Marshall Caifano in Las Vegas. He was the leader of the hole-in-the-wall gang, which he formed in Las Vegas when he moved there in 1971. Spilotro eventually ran afoul of his organized crime overseers who disapproved of his handling Las Vegas affairs, and who then arranged his murder on June 14, 1986. Spilotro served as the basis for the character Nicky Santoro in Martin Scorsese's Mafia classic, Casino, 1995. Early life. Spilotro was born in Chicago, Illinois, the fourth of 6 children to Pasquale Patsy Spilotro Sr. and Antoinette Spilotro. He attended Burbank Elementary School and entered Steinmetz High School in 1953. His father, who had emigrated from Triggiano, province of Bari, Italy, and had arrived at Ellis Island in 1914. He and his mother ran Patsy's restaurant, which was frequented by mobsters such as Salvatore Sam Giancana, Jackie the Lackey Cerrone, Gus Alex, and Francesco Frank the Enforcer Nitti. Tony and 4 of his brothers, John, Vincent, Victor, and Michael, became involved in criminal activity starting at an early age. The remaining brother, Patrick Pasquale Jr., became a dentist. Spilotro was a boyhood friend of Frank Collada, and started a criminal career together as teenagers, engaging in theft, burglary, and murder. He was nicknamed Tony the Ant by the media after FBI Special Agent William Romer referred to Spilotro as that little pie's scent. Since the media couldn't use pie's scent, they shortened it to the Ant. The hole-in-the-wall gang. In 1971, Spilotro moved to Las Vegas to manage the affairs of the Chicago outfit there. He formed the hole-in-the-wall gang, a group of experienced thieves, safecrackers and killers. The crew became known in the media as the hole-in-the-wall gang because of its penchant for gaining entry to homes and buildings by drilling through the exterior walls and ceilings of the locations they burglarized. In early 1979, Frank Collada moved to Las Vegas to join Spilotro. On July 4, 1981, the hole-in-the-wall gang robbed Bertha's Gifts and Home Furnishings on East Sahara Avenue in Las Vegas. The robbery was a bust as much of the gang was arrested, including Collada, Joe Blasco, Leo Gardino, Ernest Divino, Lawrence Neumann and Wayne Matacki, each charged with burglary, conspiracy to commit burglary, attempted grand larceny and possession of burglary tools. Around this time, Spilotro had an affair with Frank Rosenthal's wife, Jerry McGee. In 1982, Collada was imprisoned and approached by the FBI with a wiretap of Spilotro talking with someone about having to clean our dirty laundry, which Collada took as an insinuated contract on his life. Due to this, in July 1982, Collada finalized an agreement with the prosecutors. In September 1983, Spilotro was indicted for conspiracy and obstruction of justice in the Sherwin Jerry Lisner murder and released on $100,000 bail. At a trial in October 1983, Collada admitted that he was involved in over 300 crimes, including 4 murders, perjury, robberies and burglaries. He also testified that Spilotro, his boss in Las Vegas, ordered him to make a telephone call that lured one of the 1962 murder victims, William McCarthy, to a fast food restaurant. In 1962, Collada had killed William McCarthy and James Miraglia, who were found dead in the trunk of a car on May 14, 1962. McCarthy's head had been placed in a vice and his throat slashed, while Miraglia strangled. Spilotro was acquitted later that year. Spilotro's defense attorney was future Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman. Members of hole-in-the-wall gang. Death and aftermath. Spilotro and his brother Michael disappeared on June 14, 1986, after they drove away together from Michael's Oak Park home. Michael's wife, Ann, reported both brothers missing on June 16. Michael's car, a 1986 Lincoln, was recovered several days later in the motel parking lot near O'Hare International Airport. On June 22, their bodies were found, one on top of the other and stripped down to their undershorts, buried in a cornfield in the Willow Slough Preserve near Enos, Indiana. The freshly turned earth had been noticed by a farmer who thought that the remains of a deer killed out of season had been buried there by a poacher, and notified authorities. An autopsy completed on June 24 identified their cause of death as blunt force trauma, and ascertained that they had been dead since June 14. They were identified by dental charts supplied by their dentist brother, Patrick Spilotro. The two were buried in a family plot at Queen of Heaven Cemetery in Hillside, Illinois, on June 27. In January 1986, in the wake of the imprisonment of Joseph Iappa and John Cerrone for skimming Las Vegas casino profits, a meeting was held at the Czech Lodge in North Riverside, Illinois. Most of the upper echelon were there, including outfit boss Tony "Joe Batters" Accardo. Accardo had decided to appoint Samuel Carlisi as the street boss in charge of outfit operations to replace Iappa. Carlisi told the group that Accardo would stay on as consigliere and would have final say, as well as Gus Alex staying head of the connection guys. He then went on to the first problem, Spilotro, and how things had gone down since he took over Vegas. Mobster and mob enforcer Rocco and Felice said, "Hit him." Everyone else at the meeting agreed. Spilotro was replaced in Las Vegas by Donald, the Wizard of Odds Angelini. Although the original report stated the Spilotros were beaten and buried in the Enos, Indiana, cornfield, mobster Nicholas Calabrese testified at the Operation Family Secrets in 2007 that the brothers were killed in a Bensonville, Illinois, basement first, where the Spilotros believed Michael would be inducted into the outfit. Then their bodies were transported to the cornfield. According to court testimony, when Tony entered the basement and realized what was about to occur, he asked if he could say a prayer. No arrests were made until April 25, 2005, when 14 members of the Chicago outfit, including reputed boss James Marcello, were indicted for 18 murders, including the Spilotros. The suspected murderers included Capo Albert Taco from Chicago Heights, Illinois, who was sentenced to 200 years in prison in 1990, after his wife testified against him. She testified that, in 1986, she drove her husband from an Indiana cornfield where he told her he had just buried Spilotro. On May 18, 2007, the star witness in the government's case against 14 Chicago mob figures, Nicholas Calabrese, pleaded guilty to taking part in a conspiracy that included 18 murders, including the hits on Anthony and Michael Spilotro. Under heavy security, Calabrese admitted that he took part in planning or carrying out 14 of the murders, including the Spilotro killings. He became the key witness against his brother, Frank Calabrese, Sr., and other major mob figures charged in the government's Family Secrets trial. Calabrese agreed to testify after the FBI showed him DNA evidence linking him to the murder of fellow hitman John Ficarrata, who was also allegedly involved in the Spilotro slayings. In September 2007, Frank Calabrese, Sr. and 4 other men, Marcello, Joseph Lombardo, Paul, the Indian Shiro, and former Chicago police officer Anthony Juan Doyle, were convicted of mob-related crimes. On September 27, 2007, Marcello was found guilty by a federal jury in the murders of both Spilotro brothers. On February 5, 2009, Marcello was sentenced to life imprisonment for the Spilotro murders, and United States District Judge James Zagel, agreeing with the presentation made by federal prosecutor Marcus Funk, also found Marcello responsible for the DeAndrea murder as well, even though the jury had deadlocked on that count. On March 26, 2009, Nicholas Calabrese was sentenced to 12 years and 4 months imprisonment. In a 2010 interview with Maxim magazine, while promoting the opening of the Las Vegas mob experience at the Tropicana Hotel, Tony Spilotro's son Vincent claimed that the real target was his uncle Michael, and Tony was killed to prevent any revenge. Suspect in gangland slayings. By the time of his death in 1986, the FBI suspected Spilotro was involved in 22 or 25 murders, including the murder of Sam DeStefano on April 14, 1973, the murder of former Chicago outfit boss Sam Giancana on June 19, 1975. In popular culture, Martin Scorsese's film Casino, 1995, is based on the Las Vegas careers of Spilotro and Rosenthal, on whom the characters Nicky Santoro, played by Joe Pesci, and Ace Rothstein, played by Robert De Niro, were based. Nearing the end of the film, Nicky and his brother Dominic, Philip Soriano, based on Tony's brother Michael Spilotro, are shown being beaten with metal baseball bats and buried alive in an Indiana cornfield by their associate Frank Marino, Frank Vincent, based on Frank Collada, and the rest of Nicky's crew. In the 1980s NBC series Crime Story, the character of mobster Ray Luca is based on Anthony Spilotro. References. Further reading: Cohen, Jeff. Family Secrets. The Case That Crippled the Chicago Mob. Chicago Review Press, Incorporated. 2009. ISBN 978-1-55652-781-4. Griffin, Dennis. The Battle for Las Vegas: The Law vs. the Mob. Huntington Press. 2006. ISBN 0-929712-37-4. Griffin, Dennis. Collada. The Life of a Chicago Criminal, Las Vegas Mobster, and Government Witness. Huntington Press. 2007. ISBN 0-929712-45-5. Pileggi, Nicholas. Casino, Love and Honor in Las Vegas. ISBN 0-684-80832-3. Romer, William F., Jr. The Enforcer. Spilotro, The Chicago Mob's Man in Las Vegas. ISBN 0-8041-1310-6. External links: Anthony Tony Spilotro Archives. Chicago Sun-Times. Ex-mobster weighs in on latest case by Robert C. Herguth. Anthony Tony the and Spilotro's FBI file. The Free Information Society. Biography: Anthony Spilotro at Find a Grave. FBI file on Anthony Spilotro on the Internet Archive.